All right, so it's what some of you may think creepy haunted doll time. But for dark antique doll collectors like me, this is not freaky. This is not creepy. This is not weird. This is actually art. And so what we have here is an FM Schilling German paper mache doll. And this was probably made about the 1880s or to about the 1890s. And what's really cool about this is the doll is not made out of bisque like a lot of these German dolls were. The head is actually made out of some kind of like paper mache. And I don't know if you could see that. Eyes inset into the head with, and actually of hand blown glass. Don't know if you can see that. This is a little boy. Now, generally, most dolls were little girls because little boys really did not play with dolls. But what's even more extraordinary is he is wearing his original velvet costume. He's almost dressed like a little blue boy. And if you look, his body is actually handmade. And so somebody actually made the body for this doll and probably sewed a little Lord Fauntleroy outfit for him. So I don't want to like bend him too much, but you can see this little Lord Fauntleroy type of outfit. Very, very threadbare. It's falling apart. It's made out of like some kind of sateen or something like that. We got these little teeny tiny microscopic buttons. He almost has a little smile on his face. Let's this out. Look at the molded ears and the hand painted, oil painted hair. Very, very, very cool. And these dolls really, really, really don't get enough credit. The collectors aren't really into them yet. They're very, 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 actually, they're not common. You don't see them very often, but when you do, they don't really command high prices, although certain examples of them do go for a nice chunk of change. Now, the smaller they are, I think the more collectible. People like to collect miniature antique dolls or what we call cabinet-sized dolls. A cabinet-sized doll is much, much easier, and I'll show you the size of this thing. A cabinet-sized doll is much, much easier to display. So if you have like a small spot to, display your stuff, it's much easier to display a smaller doll. Now let's find out more about these dolls, do a little history, go down the Google rabbit hole, look at his little molded little boots. That is just really awesome and cute and cool at the same time. But a lot of people would be really, really, really sort of getting the heebie jeebies from looking at something like this and find this actually quite scary looking. There's nothing to be scared of. These dolls are not haunted. And when you see on eBay, haunted antique doll, it's all bunk. It's all absolute bull. And yeah, I'm going to say it. It's absolute bullshit. These things are not haunted. I have over 100 antique German and French dolls in my collection. And never one of them, or never once, did any of them haunt me. Well, I don't know. Maybe they did and I didn't realize it. Maybe that's why I have terrible nightmares every night. All right, let's check out this company, FM Schilling, and look at about more of the history of these type of dolls. So going down the Google rabbit hole, I found a patent by FM Schilling. And this was patented in 1890. And it was a stand for toys and the like. So this is an actual doll stand. They actually invented doll stands as well, besides dolls. And you can see this is like a paper mache doll. Similar in ugliness to my little guy. And here we go. We have a whole bunch of information dated 1890. Very, very cool. Now we're going to go and we're going to check out some more FM Schilling dolls. And we're going to find out more about them. Now I tried to find history. So I typed in FM Schilling doll history. And I really don't see very much. I guess his name was Ferdinand Max Schilling of Sonneberg, Germany. Interesting. And so I don't really see very much about him. Okay, so we found some kind of information. Now, some of them would be marked with this little symbol here, which is an angel head. And this means, I think, patent. And it's a mark patented. Okay, and so they made dolls between 1871 and 1928. That's actually quite interesting. And here we go. So here's some information about antique paper mache dolls. And they were popular from 1760 and up. So it says paper mache, and by the way, this one is very, very old. Probably from the Georgian era, probably from the 1830s to 1850s. And it says paper mache, carton moule, don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, or Holzmass, are all terms describing a type of composition material made from paper sheets or paper pulp mixed with paste, oil, resin, or other materials to form strong material. This is pressed together to form a doll's head, hands, and lower legs on a cloth or a wooden body. The earliest paper mache dolls were individually handcrafted by the mid 1800s pressure mold process, which made it possible for the dolls to be mass produced and cheaply. And here's 1820s to 1860s paper mache dolls. And this one is from 1835 to 1850. And some of them are French, some of them are German. Here's an 1840 to 1900 Ludwig Grainer German doll. They were patented from 1858 to 1872. Here's an 1850 to 1890 J. Adler and Company dolls, USA. Here's now later 1863 and on paper mache dolls. Some of them marked unmarked or marked GL Superior or M&S Superior, and I guess they were made by Muller and Strasburger or George Lutz. Very interesting. Now here we go, 1880 to 1915, patent washable dolls, a type of paper mache doll made by various doll makers, American and German. Contrary to the name, do not wash these dolls. Yes, the paint will come off of them. And some of them came with wigs or painted hair. So most are identified by the bulging glass eyes, closed or open mouth, some even with teeth. And they are unmarked generally. So we have mention here of our FM Schilling. 1878 to 1928, paper mache dolls, rubber dolls, Toffling dolls, composition head dolls, and wax over composition. And they would have a symbol of a winged doll angel. Very interesting. Now here are the some of the FM Schilling dolls, and let's check out the images. And here we go. So what did this one sell for? And it's sold out, and it's a baby. And you can see the painted hair on the top, the inset eyes, the closed mouth, and it sold for $860, and it's only 13 inches. A very small cabinet size one. Okay, and here we go. There's some more ones. And this one has a wig. Let's check out these. Here's another one. FM Schilling, and this one has an open mouth with teeth and a wig. And let's see if it has a price. And it's $295, 13 inches. All original clothes. Very, very sweet and very cool. Now when you see ones like these with articulated arms that move, these ones are worth a heck of a lot more. Now this one has a shoulder head attached to this cloth body. And this is by Schilling. And you can see this is actually a really beautiful one. And this one sold for, let's see, what did it sell for? Realized price was $700. Pre-sale estimate $800 to $1,100. Original shoes with buckles, original socks, original dress. They should have dressed her for the picture, but I guess people wanted to see the condition of the body before buying. Very, very interesting. Not as good quality. Mine is not as good quality as this one. So when you see a little doll like this, and you say, oh my God, it's really creepy, and it's really freaky, and it's like sort of gross, and it scares me, and it's haunted because eBay told me it's haunted. The truth is it's really not. It's just an antique German doll. Very, very interesting. Look at the crust inside his eyes from like, oh my God, over 120 years worth of dust and dirt. They tell you not to wash these. If I was to take like a damp cloth and wipe his face, the paint would come off and the paper mache would actually get totally destroyed. And so this is something you really can't clean. You can possibly get like a dry paintbrush with soft bristles inside the eye socket and dust out all that dirt and get it out. But this is actually a treasure because you have the original little antique outfit. Look at this. And you don't see this very often. What would I sell this for if I had an Etsy shop? I would sell them for between $200 and $250 because you don't generally see boys too often. Boy dolls are less popular. Were less popular because mostly girls played with them. So to find a little boy doll is actually very interesting. So I hope you learned something and we had fun going down the Google rabbit hole. Thanks for watching. See you guys all soon and so long.